recently started reading up on LLMs and AI models that are using LLMs and how these could be exploited uh, to retrieve sensitive information using things like prompt engineering, etc. So I started getting interested in the subject, and I also tried going through Portswigger Academy. I mean, Portswigger Academy, for those who do not know, is wonderful tutorial site. Basically, they're the one that produces, Portswigger is the one that produces Burp Suite, which is an excellent tool, very commonly used for web app testing, used by bug bounty hunters, etc. Now, what Portswigger also has is they have this academy, which is also used for training people. And it is free, of course. So they have some excellent training for web application, web attacks. Um, and then they also released trainings for LLMs. So having said that, what we are going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the LLM items or some of the LLMs labs that Portswigger has. And I just wanted to quickly show you this. I've logged into my Portswigger. I have my Burp Suite up and ready in case if I have to explore any um, API calls. But I I'm not going to need Burp Suite at this stage for this first lab. And this is a basic lab, a basic challenge. Let's quickly explore this. So this is exploiting LLM APIs, right? So basically you have LLM models have APIs. Using those APIs, there are front-end web application that are being built. So you have this interface, you interact with those interfaces, you ask questions, you seek information from these web interfaces with prompts. Prompts are nothing but where you can enter your text, and using the APIs, this web application or the chatbot will go hook up on the LLM models and will extract the information and show it to you. Now, this becomes the tricky part because if those backend LLM models, the data is not secure, then you can potentially talk, uh, depending on how the different keywords, and mostly it is keywords. It could be other ways in which these LLMs are protected. I'll have to read and I'll let you know if I come across other ways. But basically, the input that you're entering to these LLM models, it is interesting to see how do they react to it. Like what information do they leak or do they give you when you ask certain information? By right, they should not be sharing anything which is internal, which is sensitive, which is proprietary, which is confidential, right? That's about keeping your insider information, your secure data secure, and not exposing it on public face websites. So over here, I click on access the lab, and we're going to take a look now on the lab. So I'm going to start the lab over here. We'll give it a couple of minutes to fully load up, and yeah, we'll just wait. By the way, you can see my intercept is off on web Burp Suite. Um, if you are exploring APIs, you can actually look into Burp Suite in order to see what is the lay of the land as far as the APIs are concerned, the web applications are concerned. We'll be doing it in the subsequent challenges, but not for this CTF or not for this challenge. So let's take a look together. So we see a web application over here. We see that it's a shopping uh, site, it's a shopping portal. Good. I can see some items over here. I can see home, my account, and live chat. I want to talk to live chat. I want to talk to the person, the bot, whosoever it is on the other end. So it's a system connected, and I'm like, okay, let's start a conversation. Um, and this is really interesting. So if you see, kudos to the creativity. The chatbot name is artificial. Like I hope you get the pun, artificial. So I really liked it, and I thought it was quite creative. Let me know what you think on the comments. So now, the challenge is we have to, if you see here, we have to delete the user Carlos. So there is a user by the name Carlos, and we have to delete it. And to me, that starts like what I start thinking is okay, if you have a user and my task is to delete the user, there might be some sort of database running behind it. Okay, let me switch this off. Okay, all right. So in that case, let's start interacting with this chat interface. So I'm like, okay, how many users are currently in this system? Let's see if it responds to us. Currently, one user in the system. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. It shouldn't be telling us this, but great. It is. So let's make use of this. So I'm like, great, let's start talking to it. Great. What's the user name? I'm sorry, okay. What is the name of the user that is currently in the system? Should be Carlos, but let's see. Carlos, okay. All right, great. We have different commands to see what type of database it is running on the backend. But for now, what I'll do is I'll just ask and see if it replies us what is the type and version of the database being used for this application to store user names. Let's see if it responds to us. Okay, it encountered an error, so good. It's not telling us this. Maybe there's another creative way of asking the chatbot to give us this information, but I don't want to do it now. So what I want to do it is, I mean, I can just type something like delete user uh, from username, and this is hypothetical. It might not even exist. From username, where user name equal to Carlos. Yeah, perfect. Because my SQL sucks, and this could be the reason that um, I'm getting an error. So here, just let me stop the sharing. So what we can actually do over here, and that is really interesting, is um, you might encounter a situation where you're not an expert, right? Nobody expects you to be an expert in everything, and at least I am not. And what I started realizing is I have my notes. I maintain a very detailed notes on OneNote. You might have other places like Notion, etc., to take your notes, whatever it is. But you can also start interacting with chat GPTs or Meta LLMs or other AI system, or you can just Google for the commands to interact with database. So there's one specific command that I am interested in uh, So what I'm going to do is I am just going to say, okay, uh, go back to my system and let me just find it so that we can start it again. Okay, so we go back over here and I'm like, okay, uh, select, this was the command, select version. Oh, perfect. So, yeah. So what I did now is I just put in a SQL query and it returned a result, right? It shouldn't be executing SQL queries, uh, right? So, so now it is doing this. So now I know that the SQL queries, and let me stop again in order to explain. Now I know that the system that it is using is a specific database. I now know the name of the database, which is interesting. Like I said earlier, I shouldn't have been able to guess uh, the 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 details. Like I should not know what is the database running, etc. over here. So what I am now going to do is let me show you how you can actually use uh, chat GPTs, etc. So let's go here and let me adjust everything so that things are streamlined for you. Let me bring my chat GPT interface over here as soon as I find where it is. Like there's so many tabs open on my system. This is ChatGPT. Let's keep it here so that I can show you how you can use ChatGPT effectively for either learning, uh, red teaming, pen test, etc., or even for helping you with CTFs of the world, right? So what I am trying to do is I'm trying to open up the ChatGPT. I have it open now, and here's my list. Here's my ChatGPT. Wonderful. So what I'll do is let me just share the entire screen with you again. Uh, okay, so here it is. So I'm over here in ChatGPT, and as you know, my last command was successful, but the command before to delete was not. But we'll go step by step. So I want to ask ChatGPT generate a command to show the table and table in the database, right? So it's going to show us this. So simple thing, show tables, uh, right? So let's just go back here. Let's see. We wait. Why is it so slow? Let me just refresh. Uh, no way. Okay, encountered an error. SQL statement. Maybe I should just ask for PostgreSQL, right? So let's just do this. Okay, name here, right? Uh, Command to show the name of tables in. I don't know. I mean, we can try this command, but I'm interested in using this command /dd. /dd? Is this right? Let's see. Ah, yeah, can't find it. All right. All right. So let's say if it executes this command. Okay, perfect. So it returns. It says only users. Okay. So we only have one table users. And now what we'll do is generate a command post press. And what we want to do is uh, we want to run a command to delete a user from the table user. So delete user ID. Uh, Actually, you know what? I mean user ID, but what if the um, name is the column name is not user ID? Generate. So I want to see generate a post uh, press SQL command to show me the column value name in the table. Yeah, let's look at the column names, and then it's just going to make things really easy for us. So, ETO table name. Okay, perfect. I love these commands. So we're going to use this, and my table name was users. Let's see if it executes. What do you mean not doing users? Okay, perfect. Didn't run. So I'll just run this. Oh man, typo. Yeah. I know. You need to have certain brain running for common sense. Interesting. So, although the task asked us to delete the user, and we know Carlos is the only user, but we can also see the password. So, I am now going to do something else. We are going to go beyond the what is required for the CTF, and let's see if we can extract the information. How to view the data inside, or maybe generate a post. Post command to show me the user, show me the details of all the columns. Let's see if we can get the details of the columns. And that should be, oh buddy, wait. Copy, paste it here, and let's see if this works. Come on, show it to me. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, I want to see the content of these of the table. Maybe I should have asked, show me all the details of the rows in the table, but common thing, if you don't remember this, right? So I select all from users. So now we know the password of Carlos. Interesting. Can we do this? I mean, we can definitely delete Carlos, but what if I come here, I go to my account, and this is definitely what is not required, but what is not required by the CTA. But I come over here, I say, okay, the username was, let's just go here, Carlos at Carlos, whatever, Montoya, and the password is a very complicated password and a login as Carlos, invalid username and password. Maybe let's just put this as Carlos, right? And I just to make sure that we have the password copied correctly. Let's see. Why can I not log in? Yeah, Carlos, and maybe I think I know why. Could that be a small space? Yeah. So that was a small space. And interestingly, now I can update the email ID. This update email, I can actually put it as my email. Now, there are two ways of going about it. I can either delete the account from here, or I can delete the account via the SQL, PostgreSQL statements. I can just delete it here. Delete it. That's what it is needed. Boom. So this was interesting. And let me stop sharing so that we can talk now. So this was interesting. We went beyond the scope of what the CTF required. We did few extra steps. We also saw how ChatGPT can help us. I had no idea about SQL command. I'm not that great in SQL, but you can see how these tools can actually help us learn more uh, on topics that we do not know. So in this case, I learned few commands about SQL injection. SQL database is not SQL injection at this stage, but this is where we can actually use these technologies like AIs, etc., in order to make us more efficient and to learn. Having said that, I believe TryHackMe also recently introduced an AI tool called as Echo in some of their rooms. So I saw some of the demos, and that's very impressive. Can definitely help a lot of people to learn and get better in CTFs and get better in security in general. And then I the biggest takeaway from this, as an attacker, of course, we saw how we can extract the information via prompt engineering. But from a defensive perspective, from a defender point of view, it is so important to sanitize the inputs that are being fed in the web interface. This one is not just applicable for LLMs, but something like this we see a lot of times even in web applications. So sanitizing the input, making sure that the confidential information is not leaked is so very important. So I hope you learned something from this CDF walkthrough. Um, and this was live. I did learn. while I was showing it to you. So definitely a good learning for me. I'm no pro. I'm learning every day. I am learning some of the basic things as well. So for me, doing all of these walkthrough and recording it is a good way to also just recollect how things are done, just to get more familiar, and just to also share my perspective with all of you. All right. Having said that, thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.